to like him, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. Gadadhar and Srivas they put on the hand, but him they offer on the leg. That's all I know. Whatever I learned from Prabhupada.
When we eat tulsi to his lotus feet, then we are considering as the God.
Sometimes you also put peacock feathers.
Yeah, we do.
So Prabhupada said, all right, so we do. But actually his role was a bhakta. You know, there's a verse, bhakta bhakta kyam, you know that verse?
Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah. Oh, this one I know, yeah. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam.
See this role, this is
No, the
the
words, I don't know the index.
verse,
Okay.
Bhaktavataram bhaktakyam namami bhakta shaktikam. Can you read the translation?
I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is not different from his features as a devotee, devotional incarnation, devotional manifestation, pure devotee, and devotional energy.
As a devotee, devotional incarnation, that's Nityananda Prabhu. Devotional manifestation, that's Advaita Acharya. Pure devotee, that's Gadadhar. And devotional energy is Narada Muni. So he comes in this 5 features. You understand? Features as a devotee. You follow? There's a purport or one.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Is there a purport?
Yeah, thanks. No,
No
no
purport.
purport.
So this is the thing, you see. So he does not transgress that role. So he himself observed Ekadasi. He told his mother also to take Ekadasi, and he himself was also observing Ekadasi. So since he was observing Ekadasi, if you go and give him grain, that's not so good, no? Yes? Correct? So that's why we don't offer grains to him on Ekadasi day. He doesn't eat also. So he has personally shown what he eats and what he doesn't eat. So we have to do that. Correct? Yeah?
He does fast on Janmashtami also. Janmashtami.
We don't know. You offer him, is it? I think we should offer non-grains, fruits or something.
Chaturmasya Vratam, that's the thing. I'm just wondering if recently we did, but dal makhani ke sath dal pasita is happening because of the KTP. So we are sending an offering. I got it down whether we can serve Nitai Gauranga or not.
Usually, on your Ekadasi day, we follow that. Other days, we don't. Other days, we don't. Other times, the same as usual. Yes? Any other questions? No questions. Class over. Nobody is question.
Quickly, 2.42 to 43, where it's mentioned, it takes over as some people who are in Karmakanda, they do Chaturmasya Vrata. Who have the chance to enjoy the women and all this. And also, they bring Somarasa to have immortal life. Immortal means there is no death, but wherever we go, we have the able to perform. Why it means
In this case, immortal means that it's a long life, almost deathless. but it's long. But once they finish their piety, they have to come back. That is explained in this verse. So many verses, but in the Bhagavad Gita, it's 9, 20, and 21. You see here, 9:20 is what you say. Can you go to Sanskrit?
Okay.
Trividya Mam Somapa. That Somapa is the nectar. Bhuta Papa. Yage is the Swagatim, is going to heavenly planet. Prartayante te punyam asadya surendra lokam. That again, Su Indra lokam. Asnanti divyam divi deva bhogan. Can you translate it?
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
But it never say.
It's available in every
Uh,
on the earth also it's available. Is it available on the earth also so much?
some Brahmins say they can do that, but I doubt. That's only available in the. They see those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice. That means they make here the Soma juice. But such kind of Brahmins are no more available.
Juice.
The Brahmana who makes all these things. Kali Yuga. See that? Then next verse.
Sanskrit, you want?
Tetam bhutva swargalokam vishalam chene punya matyaloka vishanti. Again. Evam dharmam anuprapanam gatagatam kama kama labante.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
So when their piety is finished, they come back again. To know this more, we can go to 11:10. 11:10, 20.
In translation?
Go to the translation.
Death is not at all pleasing, and since everyone is
Go to the
exactly...
next verse.
Next verse.
21. You just scroll down, you know.
Turn faster.
Yeah.
That material happiness of which we hear, such as promotion to heavenly planets for celestial enjoyment, is just like that material happiness we have already experienced. Both are polluted by jealousy, envy, decay, and death. Therefore, just as an attempt to raise crops becomes fruitless if there are many problems like crop disease, insect plague, or drought, similarly, the attempt to attain material happiness, either on earth or on the heavenly planets, is always fruitless because of innumerable obstacles.
Next verse.
If one performs Vedic sacrifices and fruitive rituals without any mistake or contamination, one will achieve a heavenly situation in the next life. But even this result, which is only achieved by perfect performance of fruitive rituals, will be vanquished by time. Now hear of this.
So you see that you have to do this perfectly, you know, without any mistakes. And if you do that, then you cannot go there. It's not just so easy, you know, going. Right? You understand? Next verse.
If on earth one performs sacrifices for the satisfaction of the demigods, he goes to the heavenly planets where, just like a demigod, he enjoys all of the heavenly pleasures he has earned by performances.
By worship of demigods, you get promoted to the next verse. Next verse.
Having achieved the heavenly planets, the performer of ritualistic sacrifices travels in a glowing airplane, which he obtains as a result of his piety on earth. Being glorified by songs sung by the Gandharvas and dressed in wonderfully charming clothes, he enjoys life surrounded by heavenly goddesses.
This is the heavenly pleasure you enjoy. Right? Next.
Accompanied by heavenly women, the enjoyer of the fruits of sacrifice goes on pleasure rides in a wonderful airplane, which is decorated with circles of tinkling bells and which flies wherever he desires. Being relaxed, comfortable, and happy in the heavenly pleasures gardens, he does not consider that he is exhausting the fruits of his piety and will soon fall down to the mortal world.
Next verse.
Until his pious results are used up, the performer of sacrifice enjoys life in the heavenly planets. When the pious results are exhausted, however, he falls down from the great pleasure gardens of heaven, being moved against his desire by the force of eternal time.
So he falls down after he exhausts his piety. From this you can see what happens. So heaven pleasure is not permanent. That's why Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita 7:23, see, antavattu palatesham. The antavattu palatesham tad alpya alpa medasam. Devan devayajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. See again, translation.
Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet.
So there's a difference, So people are all attracted to demigod worship because very quickly they get result. Yeah, 4:12.
Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world.
That actually demigod worship is also, it's a kind of a enticement for a person to come to the point of understanding that there's some controllers. See, many people are atheistic, they don't believe. So when they go to the demigod and worship, then the demigods are giving them results. Because they're getting results, so their faith becomes, because there is a higher person and is giving something, so their faith increases. Although it is not I would say a permanent thing, worshipping demigod for the Vaishnavas, it is not recommended, but it is a start for those people who are non-believers, So he promotes them to a higher consciousness. And if by chance they meet a devotee or they understand that the demigods are all a part and parcel of Krishna, then they make more progress. But then again, they must meet a devotee to explain this. Otherwise, they think that the demigod is all in all. Again, they go to the demigod's work and then they have to come back again. See, unless they get to the devotee, then their whole cycle of birth and death does not stop. So this is a important point, is this. So why the Lord has arranged for this? Because people are very much prone to getting material benefits. That's all they go. They go to the temple, they only pray for material sense gratification. That's all. So they think to alleviate or to get a better life, they need some material sense gratification. That's all the whole thing about. 99.9% of the people, very few take up this devotional program because they don't want anything. They only want Krishna. But to go to that level requires a lot of, surrender. That's why Krishna also said, because I don't give, you know, 10, 88, I because I'm difficult to worship. People generally don't worship me. No, next 8, 10,
It is it?
8, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not this verse.
On this verse?
Go to 9.
9. Okay, number 9. 7.
Go to 10. Eleven. Yeah. See here. Can read?
Because I am difficult to worship, people generally avoid me and instead worship other deities who are quickly satisfied. When people receive kingly opulences from these deities, they become arrogant, intoxicated with pride, and neglectful of their duties. They dare to offend even the demigods who have bestowed benedictions upon them.
So, of course, they don't get any good qualities by worshipping the demigods. That's the problem. Whereas when you worship Krishna, immediately you develop all the good qualities of the demigods. Saintly quality, different. Worshipping demigods, you don't make any progress except for getting material benefit. So when you get material benefit, you become proud. You become arrogant, intoxicated with pride, and neglectful of their duties. So they don't get any good qualities by worshipping the demigods. Because money corrupts, right? 10, 10, 8. Narada also said that.
Narada Muni said, amongst all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic family, and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling.
Is that money corrupts? That's why Krishna said that's not that verse. If I favor someone, the first thing I do is I take away his wealth. Because the wealth pollutes the consciousness. You can see anyone who got money, they're very proud, they're arrogant. It's easy to go to a poor man's house, but very difficult to go into a rich man's house. Because he's got so much pride. Yeah.
It's mentioned,
Hmm.
if you do devotional practice and you cannot go back, the next slide will be in aristocratic or
I mean, when you take birth in aristocratic family, means they also somewhat devotees also. Very rich Makanda family in India, their parampara, usually they all are worshippers of Krishna. Like for example, you take the Birla, they also worship Krishna. I mean, you have many families like that. They not become rich overnight. They are generations. They are wealthy. So such family you will take birth, or you take birth in devotee families. Again, you start.
Audio.
Oh, Krishna
Take the
puts
audio.
you in a place where you will
Audio,
get
audio.
the association of devotees. So Krishna he directs to make you continue again your spiritual life. Just like all of us, I think definitely we must have done some punya. Otherwise, how is it that we are coming again to Krishna consciousness? I don't think we made any plans, right? So this is all the arrangement of Krishna, so that we continue again our spiritual life. Is it not? Automatically 6:44. Purva Abhishena. So on previous life,
By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures.
so you see how the ritual here means karma kanda. He goes beyond the karma kanda. Karma kanda is not encouraged by Krishna at all. He told Arjuna in second chapter, 243, I think. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Nice go above the Veda. Right?
545.
43, I think.
45. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self.
See that? So he's asking him to go transcend this. And that's what everybody, the Brahmin, everyone, is just always on the karma kanda platform. You understand? So the devotees are beyond that. And our Krishna himself saying, go beyond that. So what we are doing is Vaishnava principles. We don't worship demigods. We are not interested in material pleasure, gains. Ours is simply to love Krishna. So the position is beyond. You follow? That's why we don't really like to go to all the other temples. We don't feel, because the others are all into demigod and material benefits. You understand this point? Where you find you getting more pleasure here, or you're going to all these other temples. Even if you go to the Vishnu temple in the other sampradaya, you still don't feel very
We never
encouraged.
learn anything. Like here, we never learn anything. Till I come here, I was going there, never learned anything.
Yeah. But when you understand this higher knowledge, then you don't want to go there. Right? Rasovrajam rasopyasya param dristu nirvat. Once you get the higher taste, you give up the lower taste. You see the difference? Huh? What verse is that? 59, is it?
Eh?
259. So that is what it is now. You're getting the higher. That's why Krishna says that once you get the taste of my lotus feet, then you don't want to have anything anymore. Right? Yeah. Yes. Can you read?
Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for such sense objects remains. But seizing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness.
So then, can you go 5:19:27? So that's why Krishna says here again.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives, but he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it, and that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy.
See that point here? That's why Durva 2242.
2:22:42.
2242 Madhya. So therefore, when Durva Maharaj, he was offered by the Lord, he came to get a kingdom higher than Lord Brahma. But the moment he saw the Lord, he says, I came here looking for broken glasses. I found a valuable jewel instead. I don't want anything in it. Is that
When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "Oh my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I found a most valuable jewel. Therefore, I'm so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you."
is that the moment he saw the Lord, I don't want anything. That's why in Sanskrit the word is kacham. Kacham means glass. Then go to the and Divya Ratnam. I found a valuable jewel. See that? Kacham Bichinvan. Kacham means glass. But I found a Divya Ratna, this is valuable jewel instead. I don't want anything. Swami, Varam Nayat. I don't want any more benediction. So that's the thing now. Once you get the Lord, then you don't listen. Everything else is you don't feel anymore. So that's the difference between the devotees and the non-devotee. Everybody else is non-devotee. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sagala is Santa. Krishna Bhakta. Huh? Krishna Bhakta Niskama Sakala is Santa. Because he doesn't want anything. So that's the difference. You see? Why he doesn't want anything? Because he's getting a higher taste. You follow? Because initially a person goes to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 7:16. There are four kinds of people who come to him. The one who is distressed.
O best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute.
The one who is distressed, desire of wealth, inquisitive, and the one who is coming for knowledge. So of course, among all these four, the one who comes for knowledge is highest. But all of them are pious because they are going to Krishna. Because if you go to Krishna, then you get purified. Whereas you go to the demigods, I explained this now, you don't get purified. That's why demigod worshippers are not called Sukirti. That's the word in Sanskrit. Tatorvida bhajante mam janaha sukirtinoho. This word is used for those who are pious. But this is not used with the demigod worshippers. Demigod worshippers are not called Sukriti. They, in fact, they are called someone who has no much intelligence. 720, you see. Different words are used. Artha Pagyan. Artha Pagyan means someone who has lost his intelligence. Is that? Artha
Kritagyan.
Jnana. Translation.
Deprived of.
Deprived of knowledge. They don't have brains. Whereas here they are called Sukirtis. There they are called brainless. So there's a big difference. Right? You understand? So you have to understand this, why you're becoming a devotee. Because it is a very high platform. Vaishnavas, I mean, I gave a class also. Vaishnavas got 26 qualities. Brahmana only got 12 qualities. Right?
1842.
Huh? The Vaishnavas are. There's a verse actually it says about mantra tantra visharadaha. This Brahmin, he can be that verse. Can take out. Sat karma nipino.
What is the index?
He can be a Brahmana with.
Sorry?
He can be very expert in this, mantra, tantra, vishara. But if he is not a devotee of Krishna, then he cannot be taking up the role.
He's in the purport. John.
Sat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra vishada. Avaishna guru nasya. He cannot become, if he is not a Vaishnava, he cannot become a guru. Whereas the person who is coming from a lower birth, dog eating birth, if he is a Vaishnava, he can become a guru. Can you read the translation?
There's no translation. There's no purport with the
This is
translation.
not the proper translation. Anyway, that is the point, you see. So try to understand the role of a Vaishnava. It's very, very exalted. Not the same. Translation is above.
Above the verse.
The Shastras enjoin.
The Shastras enjoin that even though a Brahmana may be well versed in the occupational Brahmanical duties and may be very learned in Vedic knowledge, he cannot give advice as a guru until he is a Vaishnava.
Is that? So they see how the position of a devotee is different. Because he understands that he is servant of Krishna.
He was practicing this session very long. Later he saw all these Westerners becoming Vaishnava and he didn't like that concept. He's telling it is not accepted, only Brahmanas must be preachers. And the Westerners cannot be, they should be low, they must listen to us, they should not guide us. I said, no, this is Krishna has said, this is what is may become. He said, no, in Haribhakta Vilasa was with Sarah, they don't accept Haribhakta Vilasa, this is mentioned by Bhattu, it is become.
Ask him to show the verse. Ask him to show the verse. Ask him to show the verse. I can say everything from this Puran, that Puran. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says no by birth.
This point I don't know, so I couldn't ask, so I wanted to check it for
413.
413.
this one Bhagavad Gita, I told him, but it's actually
430 or 13?
mentioned that only by birth you become, otherwise you cannot become.
Krishna says here, you see here, one becomes a Brahmin out of what? I created this out of what? By karma and gyan. We're going to go down, go to the Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
You see here, it is based on the guna and karma. Krishna never said janma karma. Right? If Krishna is the authority, why is Hari Bhakti Vilas and all that?
But the same verse, when we quoted that, there were some people who had shown 335. Swadharma. So even if you are born of whatever is born out of your nature, do that, then why Krishna told them? So that means.
Can you go to 7:11:35? I think. Last verse of the 7:11.
33.
Yeah, this is the one. Can you read this?
If one shows the symptoms of being a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, as described above, even if he has appeared in a different class, he should be accepted according to those symptoms of classification.
That Lakshanam Proktam. You see that? Hello, go to the Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Yasyaya Lakshanam Proktam. Huh? According to your Lakshanam and Proktam, you understand Lakshanam? I think it's there in your language.
Lakshman.
According to the Lakshanam and Proktam, matching. Accordingly, you will be divided into the Varna, Abhi, Vanjakam. And if you are seen, although you're born Shudra, but you have quality of Brahmin, you should be accepted as such. This is the meaning of this word. Understand? It's not birth on birthright. Yeah. This is Narada Muni, authority speaking. Who is this man? Is he an authority? Hello? Where is he coming from? Going tomorrow, next day is going to work in an office, don't know where, factory, sweeping or what. Who knows? Huh? And he's coming to talk to us. Huh? It's what?
He was taking Tulsi raised and the discussion happened. We asked why can't we start and to take it Tulsi with your friends? He said, "No, I need to take from the Guru only."
Oh, then Tulsi Bead you take from Guru, no? Why come here?
I said, okay, that's it, Prabhuji was there, you can take from him also. Just we start chanting. I have now, I know everything almost, and we started this.
This guy not even chanting, trying to lecture.
Yes, sir.
Me, it seems that they you see this feedback questions coming and teaching.
That's why he needs hero.
Can open the shop next door. Since you know everything, you should tell him there's a vacant shop here. Well, why don't you open one? Sit there, yeah? And you can teach others what, correct? Lacking of teachers, you can please teach. I would have said that, right? You understand? Next door vacant shop, you take law.
He himself not trying to lecture. He himself not even chanting himself.
Simply somebody who is a nonsense. Yes. So sometimes you have to be learning how to put such person down. You understand? So he's talking to you because he thinks you don't know anything. Just, eh? But you remember? 7:11:35. Prabhupada quoted this verse.
He was telling that.
Narada Muni himself didn't come from Brahmin birth. He was. Huh? Pancharatka Triki. We are following? I mean, this man, Hari Bhakti Vilaj. What Hari Bhakti Vilaj? Just now we quoted the Brahmin birth. If it's not Vaishnava, we cannot become Guru. So birthright is not.
Another thing, Varaha Purana, the Sanatana Goswami quoted from Haribhakta Vilas from Varaha. So there it has been mentioned, unless one passes through the three karmas, like by birth also it should be a Brahmana, and by initiation it should become Brahmana, and then by such then only three
So
purifications.
naturally, if your father is a doctor, there's a good chance that you will also become a doctor. That chance is there, but not necessary.
Yeah.
But then also some people may not become, father is not a doctor, but they study and they become doctor. It is based on qualification. It's not birth on birthright. You understand this point? So that's why a Brahmana, if he is not having the qualification, but if he's coming from Brahmana birth, he's called a Divija Bandhu. He's not called a Brahmana, he's called a Divija Bandhu. Why is he called like that? Because he don't have the qualification. But still, they're giving him some title, Divija Bandhu. But it's not called a Brahmin. You understand? So it is not something artificial, Just because you take birth from Brahmin family, automatically you are Brahmin. That's not acceptable. That's not. Prabhupada said many times that these devotees, they are more better than you. They're not eating onion, garlic, coffee, tea, and you guys are.
So you hear from what are you doing? Are you working? Why you are working? Your job not supposed to be working there. That is a different story.
Why different story? That is the main story.
That
That is the main story. It's not a different story.
but others should not come into this.
Like you can go to others place, but they cannot come to this.
Ask him to come here and talk to me. If you see him again, there's one but somebody like that here. Why don't you go and preach to him?
Saying that you are just showing the Bhagavad Gita verse, but Haribhakta Vilas is also yoga only. Why it is mentioned like that?
Where is it mentioned? And take out the words.
From Varaha Purana, Prabhu. So you need to go to three things for sure to become Guru or to preach all over the world. One is by birth we should be Brahmana, and by yeah.
Listen, we are following an authority. And our authority is Krishna, and our authority is Narada Muni. And Hari Bhakti Vilas, yeah, you may quote. That is a different age. In that age, everybody was Brahmin, yeah, they do all these things. But now it's all Kali Yuga, all Sudras. Where's the Brahmin in Kali Yuga? Kalau Sudra Sambhava. What are you talking about Hari Bhakti Vilas? If you follow Hari Bhakti Vilas completely, you won't be able to do anything. They're so strict. Understand? And okay, let's say we follow Hari Bhakti Vilas. That means what? You are supposed to be Brahmin, right? Then why don't you open shop and preach? You're not doing that. Then all the people are going to hell. Huh? But that means you want everybody literally to go to hell. Is that your proposition? Huh?
We should not worry about that. I have to they can do. I said we must be compassionate. We can
I think now there's a hospital in Singapore called IMH. You can go there. That's all I'll say. There's a hospital called IMH. You can go there. Institute of Mental Health. You can go there. Huh?
so that I can introduce some refugees, they can teach me. He said his mother is in hospital, he has to go. I said,
Yeah, very soon you will also join them. That's what it is. Some nonsense. You understand?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, friends. Empty vessels make a lot of noise. Because Brahmin mean might be by birth. And by birth you're doing all nonsense. What kind of Brahmin is that? Iyengar Bakery. What is that? Selling eggs? China. Huh? This is why the whole India has gone into a mess. Because of the so-called Brahmin. Huh? They think no, only by birthright. Huh? By birthright? Huh? Says here very clearly by whoever has the qualification. It doesn't say it is by birth qualification. Krishna himself says Janma Karma. He never say Janma and Karma. He say Guna Karma. Why Krishna made a mistake? Is it? Huh? Maybe you should write a Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? So we should be, we should learn how to cut this kind of guy. Yeah? Brahmin. What kind of Brahmin is that? Yeah? Yes. They don't like us because we are making so many Brahmins. This Brahmin Sabha here, Brahmana Sabha here.
In 828 Madhya 8 128 Prabhupada gave clear explanation on the same point from Haribhakta Vilas. Become Brahmin, then only should give initiation. For that, he gave explanation.
Can you go?
8.128 Madhya.
8.128.
Second paragraph. Yeah.
Purport, huh?
Second paragraph.
So first, second paragraph.
Yeah, here it is stated.
I'll read it. It is stated in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa that one should not accept initiation from a person who is not in the Brahminical order if there is a fit person in the Brahminical order present. This instruction is meant for those who are overly dependent on the mundane social order and is suitable for those who want to remain in mundane life. If one understands the truth of Krishna consciousness and seriously desires to attain transcendental knowledge for the perfection of his life, he can accept a spiritual master from any social status, provided the spiritual master is fully conversant with the science of Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also states that it does not matter whether one is situated as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Grihastha, or Sannyasi. If he is conversant with the science of Krishna, he can become a spiritual master as Vartma Pradashaka Guru, Diksha Guru, or Shiksha Guru. The spiritual master who first gives information about spiritual life is called the Vartma Pradashaka Guru. The spiritual master who initiates according to the regulations of the Shastras is called the Diksha Guru. And the spiritual master who gives his instructions for elevation is called the Shiksha Guru. Factually, the qualifications of a spiritual master depend on his knowledge of the science of Krishna. It does not matter whether he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Sannyasi, or Shudra. This injunction given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not at all against the injunctions of the Shastras. In the Padma Purana, it is said, Na Shudra Bhagavad Bhaktastepi Bhagavatottamaha Sarva Varneshu Te Shudra Ye Na Bhakta Janardane. One who is actually advanced in spiritual knowledge of Krishna is never a Shudra, even though he may have been born in a Shudra family. However, even if a Vipra, a Brahmana, is very expert in the 6 Brahmanical activities, Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dhana, Pratigraha, and is also well versed in the Vedic hymns, he cannot become a spiritual master unless he is a Vaishnava. But if one is born in the family of Chandalas, yet he is well versed in Krishna consciousness, he can become a guru. These are the Shastric injunctions, and strictly following these injunctions, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a Grihastha named Sri Vishwambhar, was initiated by a sannyasi guru named Ishwara Puri. Similarly, Sri Nityananda Prabhu was initiated by Madhavendra Puri, a sannyasi. According to others, however, he was initiated by Lakshmipati Tirtha. Advaita Acharya, although a Grihastha, was initiated by Madhavendra Puri, and many devotees born in caste Brahmana families were initiated by Sri Rasikananda, a disciple of Sri Shyamananda Prabhu, although Rasikananda was not born in a Brahmana family. There are many instances in which a born Brahmana took initiation from a person who was not born in a Brahmana family. The Brahmanical symptoms are explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.11.35, wherein it is stated. Yeah.
So you see, there's another verse. Can you go? 4:31:10. Purport.
Purport.
Chandalo.
Chanda. Chandala. Now translate Sanskrit or the translation? Chandalo bidvijasreshto Hari Bhakti Parayanah Hari Bhakti Vihinascha Dvijapi Swapachadhanah Damah. Even if one is born in the family of a Chandala, if one engages in the devotional service of the Lord, he becomes the best of Brahmanas. But even if a Brahmana who is devoid of devotional service is on the level of the lowest dog eater.
Hello? Understand? Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, keep a nyasi, keep a. The science is that you must know the Shastra. If you don't know the Shastra, then you're not given that. And most of them don't know the Shastra. Understand? We have to know our homework. We have to know what to say. In Kali Yuga, all these Brahmanas are given a chance, Varaha Puranam 118, I think it's 37 purport. In that purport, they say all the Brahmanas who are not killed by the Lord, they are given a chance to take birth in Kali Yuga. All the demons who are not killed by the Lord, they were given a chance to take birth in Kali Yuga as Brahmins. You know that? Show you the verse.
One 1837 purport.
Give me a minute. 1847
47.
purport. Yeah.
Okay. Almost. Here, sir.
Can you go up a bit more?
Even more.
The Varaha Puranam.
Okay. In the Varaha Purana, that the demons who acted inimically toward the personality of Godhead, but were not killed by the Lord, were allowed to take birth in the families of Brahmanas to take advantage of the age of Kali. The all-merciful Lord gave them a chance to have births in the families of pious Brahmanas so that they could progress towards salvation. But the demons, instead of utilizing the good opportunity, misused the Brahminical culture due to being puffed up by vanity in becoming Brahmanas. The typical example is the son of Shamika Rishi, and all the foolish sons of Brahmanas are warned hereby not to become as foolish as Shringi and to be always on guard against the demoniac qualities which they had in their previous births.
That. What about this statement? Huh? Huh? That's why they are fallen. They are doing all crazy things. Because instead of making progress, they are, and Shringi is the example. Practically every Brahmin now is fallen. I have never seen a Brahmin. I don't know. Only coming to Krishna consciousness, only they are becoming what? Real Brahmins after that. Yes? Many are eating eggs. And then you ask him, oh, I'm Brahmin. Huh? Correct. Brahmin means qualification. Brahmin doesn't mean birth. Yes, is it clear? Hmm?
Samant?
So, anything else? Oh,
Why Balaram like Duryodhana because Duryodhana was demon, but why Balaram like him?
got to ask Balaram. Why he liked him? Krishna is very expert. He wanted to be neutral. He wanted to show that he's not against the Kaurav. You understand? So he made Balaram. Otherwise, Balaram will be, Duryodhan will be discouraged. You understand? And he won't want to carry on fighting. That's what happened when he was defeated by the Gandharvas. So he sat down and meditated and he didn't want to go back. It's so much humiliation. So then the demons came and they went into his body and said, "Don't worry, you fight. We will support you." That passage is there in the Mahabharata. You understand? So in order to make the whole episode, encouraging, so Balaram supposedly taught him all how to fight also. But Krishna is the ultimate, no? Yes. So Krishna decides. 1:9:16.
O king, no one can know the plan of Lord Shri Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. Bewildered.
Hello. Understand? Cannot understand what Krishna is trying to do. This is spoken by Bhishma. So instead of trying to figure out, better to just surrender. Right? More easy rather than trying to, because he's inconceivable. Don't know why he did this, why he did that. You follow?
Prabhu, at Lakshmi, at one Acharya in our Samudaya, why Madhvacharya's Samudaya split? Why they are doing other things and why our Samudaya is doing?
Because Madhavendra Puri, he took Madhvacharya's worship is Krishna, whereas Madhavendra Puri is Radha and Krishna. So because of his mood of Radha and Krishna, the lineage became like that. Because Madhavacharya, they worship only Krishna. You go to Udupi, you can see the deity of Krishna there. But our line from Madhavendra Puri, who took initiation from the Matwa, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the Goswami. So our line comes like this. Ours is mostly worship of Radha and Krishna. Madhvacharya, they don't do that.
Before Madhavendra Puri, all that time,
Yeah.
from Madhavendra Puri is started. Radha Krishna.
Is it not a difference, Prabhu? Whatever our acharyas we follow, right? How Madhavendra Puri,
Krishna manifests that pastime in his heart. It's not something Krishna is in the heart. Krishna inspires. Bhagavad Gita 10:10. No? I give you the knowledge in which you can come to me. So he creates that relationship. Not Madhava is not wrong. He's also going to Krishna, but it's not on the mood of Radha Krishna Prem. A little different. Ramanuja also is more of a awe and reverence. Adiyan, they are more of a servant. You see, you have to go, you have to put your hand like this, and you cannot put your chada here, you must put your chada below. So many rules. Yeah, because seven cannot put here, seven must put here.
Yeah, why we put
There
here?
are rules.
Why we put here?
Never put up.
The why we put here?
You are more than seven. You understand? So there's different sampradaya, different. So according to the sampradaya, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came and he took all the two good things from all the sampradaya. You know, I don't know if you have that. He says, I don't have any. So he says here, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted. Oh. I don't know how to read this one, how to. Not see it. Oh.
When Madhav is starting Radha Krishna worship, 3 days is these acharyas have agreed on that.
Okay, let me just read this to you. How come it is so faint inside this thing? Maybe you can change the background from black to white. How you do that? How you change the background from black to white?
Can't do that.
Okay. So from the Madhava, I will receive two essential items. His complete defeat of Mayavad philosophy, Kevala Advaita Nirasana, and his service to the deity of Krishna, accepting the deity as an eternal spiritual being, Krishna Murti Sevana. That's from the Madhvacharya. Then from the Ramanuja, I will accept two great teachings, the concept of bhakti unpolluted by karma and gyan, Ananya Bhakti, and service to the devotee, Bhakta Jana Seva. So these two things from the Ramanuja. And then from the Vishnu Swami teaching, I will accept two main elements, the sentiment of exclusive dependence on Krishna, Swadeya Sarvasya Bhava, and the path of Raga Bhakti, Raga Marga. And from you, Nimbaka will receive two excellent principles, the necessity of taking shelter of Radha, Ekanta Radha Kasraya, and the high esteem of the Gopi's love for Krishna, Gopi Bhava. The scriptural source of these two items that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took from each sampradaya is from the Bhaktivinoda Thakur Navadip Dham Mahatmya. So he took two things. That from the Nimbaka Acharya, he took this Radha Krishna service, love of Radha and Krishna. So that's a difference. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is God, no? Actually, you study all the sampradaya. I mean, my experience, I don't see any of the sampradayas doing very, very well, practically. Not as dynamic as our Srila Prabhupada preaching. And even they preach also, it's only among their group of people. They don't take people from other places. You go to the Ramanuja and say you want to join, very difficult. Even you join also, they still put you on the you know. Not like here, you can even do puja, you can do so many things, but there they don't allow. In fact, Ramanuja, they have two class, the one who's birthright and one who is, they say, from the Sudras. Vadakala and Tenkala,
Oh,
they have
Vadakala,
all this kind of things.
Vadakala and Tenkala. Vadakala actually follow. Tenkala follow Desikacharya.
Yeah?
SB 1337, Robert mentioned by one's occupational duty, one can serve the Lord in the highest perfection.
One what?
1337.
1337.
11327.
37.
37.
Yeah.
Purport. What is saying?
From the big top, it is said,
The highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by yeah.
The occupational duty, yes.
and the highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by one's occupational duty.
So here, duty means, but in our Krishna consciousness, we do not.
Even you see in Krishna consciousness, some people have got the tendency to become preachers. Some people a tendency to administrate. Some people have a tendency to do business. And some people have a tendency to work for Krishna. So according to your propensity, you do the service to Krishna and your life becomes successful. You follow? Not everybody will become preachers, so you assist the preacher. Some people are good in making money, then help in the society, correct? Yes. Some people cannot do this. They do work, so much work to do. What's wrong? As long as you do everything for Krishna, then your life is. That's also explained in the Bhagavad Gita, no? 1844. 1844 or 45. Can you go? Let me see the Sanskrit.
44. Sanskrit?
No, go 45. 45. Yeah. See this.
By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now, please hear from me how this can be done.
Next verse.
By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work.
You understand? The problem is that nowadays, they're not worshipping the Lord. That's why the Brahmins, everything has become degraded. They don't know. They're not teaching the right thing. That's why in this verse, 11:5:3.
Any members of the four varnas and four ashrams who fail to worship the personality of Godhead, the source of their own creation, or who intentionally disrespect him, will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life.
This is what's happening. The Brahmins, everybody is not worshipping the Lord. So what happens? Yes? All of them are falling down. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Whether you Brahmin or Kshatriya, no need to worry about it. You simply chant. This is the shortcut, That's why people are again, they can take up the process because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You understand? When the Brahmins are fallen, they don't know what to say, they don't know what to teach. Correct? They are corrupt. So how to set this? Why Prabhupada said, to even set Varnashram is very difficult to leave, not easy. So the shortcut, so you chant. Everything will become perfect. You simply Kaloni de Raja Doshan, Ayaste Kumar. Kirtaneva Krishnasya,
Sangam param brajit.
everything becomes a chant. If not for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then how? We all will be finished. How you want to make it? There's no way. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to worship him. Understand? Yes?
Other three sampradayas, they are also chanting.
Who is chanting?
The three sampradayas.
Yeah, after they chant, they drink coffee and tea. They are chanting, very nice, but they are. So, what is the use of their chanting? Chanting means you must give up sinful life. That's the meaning of chanting. You know, bhaktya, you know the verse, bhaktya, anubhava, and virakti. Three things. 11 to 11 to 42, see? So you must become purified by chanting. If you're not getting purified, then the chanting is not working.
Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating.
It's like when you eat, you get nourishment, you get strength, and you get free from hunger. So similarly, when you chant, then you will give up, you will get devotion, you get realization, and you will give up sinful life. So, but you are chanting and not giving up sinful life, there's something wrong. Is it not? Right? Then what is the use of your chanting? So many people are chanting. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And then we have coffee also. You can. I saw. I personally saw. What is the use of your chanting? Yeah? You understand? That's why if you want to become perfect in chanting, you must worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you don't worship him, then your chanting cannot become fruitful. You understand? Yes? That's why we chant Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda,
Nityananda Shri Advaita
Gadadhar
Gadadhar
Shivasadi
Shivasadi
Gaur.
Gaur. Otherwise it won't work. Huh? This is explained in the 831. 831.
Oh. But if one only chants with some slight faith the holy names of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, very quickly is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he feels the ecstasy of love for God.
One verse before.
One verse before. If one chants the exalted holy name of the Lord again and again, and yet his love for the Supreme Lord does not develop and tears do not appear in his eyes, it is evident that because of his offenses in chanting, the seed of the holy name of Krishna does not sprout.
One verse before.
Before this is
27.
this one? 27.
Can you go to 32?
32.
Can you see this one?
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead, is greatly magnanimous. Unless one worships him, one can never be liberated.
That point there. Unless one worship him, one cannot be liberated. Not possible then. You understand? In whole India, they don't know. Correct? Yeah?
We also don't know.
You also don't know because of Prabhupada, no?
Yeah.
Yes. That's why your position is different compared to the position of all the others. Yes? And if you don't chant Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and worship him, then you say, yeah, one can never be. That's why I think you both purport. Is there a purport?
Read the purport. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur here remarks that one should not give up the worship of Radha Krishna to worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By worshipping either Radha Krishna or Lord Chaitanya alone, one cannot become advanced. One should not try to supersede the instructions of the six Goswamis, for they are acharyas and are very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur sings, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haye Akuti, Kabe Hama Bhujaba Saye Yugala Priti. One must be a submissive student of the six Goswamis, from Srila Rupa Goswami to Raghunath Das Goswami, not following their instructions but imagining how to worship Gaurasundar and Radha Krishna is a great offense, as a result of which one clears a path to hell. If one neglects the instructions of the six Goswamis and yet becomes the so-called devotee of Radha Krishna, he merely criticizes the real devotees of Radha Krishna. As a result of speculation, he considers Gaurasundar to be an ordinary devotee and therefore cannot make progress in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Radha Krishna.
Can go to 27.
When one's transcendental loving...
Go to the purport. Go down.
No, yeah.
Go to 20, 26. Thing this, it's either is 26, 25.
25?
25 is about, anyway, go there, 25, you see. Unless you chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya, you cannot. It's around there. Huh? 20? 25. Can you go to the purport?
Yeah.
It's up.
In that one purport, last paragraph, it has been said that
31.
31 only last Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Yeah, 31. So you see, first take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting.
Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. By serving Gaur Nityananda, one is freed from the entanglements of material existence and thus becomes qualified to worship the Radha Krishna deity.
See that? That's why we chanted. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Advaita
Gadadhara,
Gadadhara,
Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda.
All right, so looks like we have taken a lot of your time. Tomorrow, I don't think we can have a class. We are leaving. No?
Yes.
What time we are leaving?
End the live stream. End the live stream.
And 7:30, huh?
7:30 means go to reach the 10 o'clock. Yeah.